Most people don't lose their standards overnight. They lose them slowly, one comfortable choice at a time. And the scary part, before they even know it, they don't respect themselves anymore. So do not let that person be you. Since you've already found this video, stay till the end. I am going to show you why we keep letting our standards slip and what we can do about it. You only need this one golden rule to keep them locked in for good. My name is I Ching, and I am a weirdly funny nerd who helps high achievers transcend their childhood trauma and become the most vibrant, authentic, confident versions of themselves. Now, let's dive in. The main reasons you let your standards slip: two things. One, you follow the path of least resistance. And two, you have low self-worth. Which these two reasons actually go hand in hand. Let me explain. What is the path of least resistance? Meaning you choose what's easy and comfortable and certain and predictable over what's challenging, difficult, but good for your growth. So for example, you choose staying home and watching TV over going to the gym or going to a social event to make more friends. Because the former is easier and takes less energy and makes you less uncomfortable than the latter. So if you keep following the path of least resistance, you are going to let your standards slip because you are basically shrinking into a smaller version of you. So of course, your standards go down as your respect for yourself goes down, all right? And the second reason you let your standards slip is because you have low self-worth. What does it mean? Check in with your self-talk, right? Do you think you don't deserve more? Do you think this is as good as you can get? Do you think that whatever you dream about is beyond your reach and it's just almost impossible for you to get them? Check your belief system. Because if you believe these things, if you've been taught that you are too much, you are not good enough, whatever that is, it makes you feel you're not worth more, you don't deserve more, then of course your standards will slip, right? And the danger about this is that every time you encounter a challenge, you encounter a rejection, a disappointment, every time something external happens that proves you are unworthy, you feel less worthy yourself every time you encounter a setback, and your standards keep slipping. It just goes down a slippery slope into low standards, low maintenance, right? Low effort, whatever that is. So those are the two things, and they go hand in hand. How do we fix them? It starts from within. We have to check in with ourselves and ask this one question. Is this going to make me respect myself more or make me respect myself less? It's a gut feeling, right? How do you know? When you go to the gym, let's say, 5 days for a whole week, and you've been building your muscles or whatnot, you respect yourself more. When you set out to write a book and you finish the first draft, you are going to respect yourself more. When you decide that you are going to reconnect with an old friend who you have not been talking to for a while, right? You take the courageous step to reach out. That will make you respect yourself more. So all these things go back to that inner feeling of, do I respect myself when I think about doing this thing? How will I feel after doing this thing? We have to check in with ourselves how we're going to feel after doing this, not before. Because before, it's going to be resistance. Before you get your ass out of the house, you are feeling, I don't feel like going there. I don't feel like going to the gym. I don't feel like going to a social event, right? You're going to feel a lot of resistance. So you have to ask yourself, how am I going to feel afterwards? That is the compass that you're guiding. Because that afterwards thing, it lies on the opposite side of your comfort zone. Okay? So that is your golden rule, golden standard, is to check in with yourself. Do I respect myself more or respect myself less? That is the golden question for you. Now, here's a sneaky thing, okay? Sometimes, especially if you are like me before, people pleaser, approval seeker, it's very sneaky because you don't choose yourself, you choose external validation. And when that happens, you forget to check in with yourself because you're so focused on that external validation. Am I going to get an A? Am I going to get the job promotion? Am I going to get the guy who doesn't seem to even to be interested in me? Something like that. You are focused on the external things. You're focused on the outcomes. Now I invite you to shift your focus on the input. What's the input? What can I do about the situation? What are my standards? Meaning, what are my values and guidelines to guide my behaviors and attitudes towards this? So I want you to think from the lens of, this is what I'm going to do so that I won't regret it when I look back. Because that's exactly the same as gaining your self-respect. And as you gain respect for yourself, you are going to feel more confident, you're going to feel more self-trust, and you're going to feel really unstoppable because regardless of what's happening outside of your control, you know you have your own back. So really, that's why. That's how you keep your standards. You have to constantly check in with yourself instead of looking outside and seeking validation and proof and evidence of your worth from outside. It has to come from within. So learn to spend time with yourself. Learn to really value your gut feelings, how you feel about yourself, and maintain that positive feelings about yourself. And that is the golden ticket to keeping your standards high. Now, do you want to even raise your standards even higher? Yes, you do. How do you do that? You keep challenging yourself. Not even in the sense of setting goals, but in the sense of building the systems. Keep optimizing your systems. Keep optimizing your time management skills, energy management skills, emotion management skills. Keep your life on the upward trend. And that's how you keep your standards, because you cannot go back. Once you raise your standards, you know that's your frame. That's where you live. You won't be able to go back. And it has nothing to do with, not even necessarily with money or with status, with achievement, but really with that bar that you set for yourself, knowing that I am not going to settle for any less because this is what I deserve. Now, one caveat to this, okay? One caveat is that having high standards or maintaining high standards is not about being rigid and having those all kinds of rules and boundaries in place and keep people out. And no, it's not. For example, I only had 3 hours of sleep last night and I don't feel very productive today. I am not going to push myself to go beyond what I can contribute today because I know I'm pushing myself to that limit. This requires that you have self-compassion. Not pushing yourself over the limit, preserving yourself within that frame, but also knowing that what feels good to you, what makes you feel love and respect towards yourself, keep that as a fluid thing, okay? It's not a rigid thing. Anything that is rigid, you are not being honest with yourself. You are not being honest with your feelings. It's not rigid, okay? So don't have all those rules and boundaries and walls up. If you make them rigid, it means you're scared. If you make them flexible, it means you trust yourself. Because we all have good days and bad days, and they should be flexible, okay? We should have our standards work for us. Work for us where we're at every single day. And that's the way to go. So do not worry about keeping your standards always at 100%, but always check in with yourself. If I am at 80% today, I am going to keep my standards at 80%, which means it's still what I can do best today for myself in terms of where I am now. That's the key. If you like my video, do not forget to share, comment, like, subscribe, of course. And I think this next video is going to be helpful for you because it is about inner critic, okay? It is going to be helpful. You really need a lot of self-compassion to keep your standards high. Otherwise, it's gonna hurt. Again, my name is Yi Qing. Also, I'm writing a book, so definitely you should stay tuned, okay? And yeah, check out all my other videos, and I am going to head out to celebrate my birthday today. So happy birthday to me, and have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next week. Bye-bye.